Dennis Fithian with you. You have on the Maize and Blue Reviews podcast, VCast feed. It's Tuesday, February the 14th, Valentine's Day, 2023. And I have a passion for talking about Michigan sports. It's why I'm in a good spot doing this show weekdays at 1 o'clock for Rivals.com for the Maize and Blue Review. It's what I like doing. I like talking about Michigan and the latest in Michigan sports. This is it's an information podcast, but a lot of it is an entertainment podcast, and I'm very grateful. We have people that join us with their feedback, and we're able to kick around Michigan sports and have a lot of fun doing it. And I'm grateful to be able to do this every day and to be here today after last night's tragedy in East Lansing. I'm thinking about gun violence and life. And I know I can't do that every day. Can't sit here every day. If I sat here every day talking about the gun violence and life after we had a tragedy in America, who knows how many times we could be sitting here of talking about it. But last night, this one in our area has me, not having anything to talk about Michigan sports wise. My heart, it's just not in it. And there hasn't been any day. I've been any day since I started doing this podcast, November 1st of 21. There hasn't been. It was 2 days after Michigan lost to Michigan State in football up in East Lansing. There hasn't been a day where I said, "Man, I just don't have anything to talk about." Michigan, there's always things to talk about when it comes to Michigan and Michigan sports. In fact, the last 2 years, it's been rich and great things to talk about in sports. And so I'll have to continue, just like you'll have to continue, and we'll do that. Life continues. It's the helpless cycle on a day like today. I don't sit every day. I don't know, if that's good or bad, whatever. I don't sit every day thinking about all the violence in the world, or I need to go out and get a gun, or I need to go out and tell people not to, buy guns. I don't do that. I don't think about things like that. I do after a tragedy like last night, and all of them I think about. I think about the parade or an elementary school or the high school shooting in the state of Michigan back in 21, right here in our own backyard. You think about that one a lot. A church last night in East Lansing. And, for that one, and what happened last night, I've got immediately so many of my, I think about my friends that, freshman and up in East Lansing, freshman up in East Lansing. And I was thinking, wow, there's so many of my friends that have kids right now that are attending Michigan State. And then I was on Facebook today looking through, and then I forgot, like, oh yeah, there's another one of my friends and another one. They're all talking about, they had, talked to their sons and they talked to their daughters. But as we know now today, we've seen a couple of the names right here from Southeast Michigan. There's a few kids that are not okay. They're not getting marked as safe on Facebook and all that. So it's that endless cycle. And I know, there's a lot of people deal with things like this differently. There's some people that don't want to watch any or hear anything about this. I understand that part. Most of the time I'm like that myself. You're looking for a distraction. You're looking for anything except, dwelling on the evil that happened. I understand that. And then there are people that want to get involved and debate it and talk about it. I'm not going to say endlessly, but definitely in the days afterward. And, I've been involved in it. I've been on the radio a lot unfortunately, I've had to sit there and talk about this with people and you get people that make great points about less guns in other countries and other situations. And hey, can we try some things, try some different things? And maybe there are some things in some other countries that we could do. All the situations are different with all the different countries there. I'm not, offering up any solution today. I'm just telling you, I was talking with people over the years about it, and the day or days after, you will get people that will make points like that. They'll talk about mental health. Those things sound, you know, yeah, and I'm usually nodding my head like, yeah, yeah. Less guns, different countries, mental health, and then you'll have people that say, no, more guns, because the bad people aren't turning in their guns, and there's already so many out there. So we have to be able to match that. Even saying that, getting the more guns in responsible people's hands is like, okay, that sounds good, but responsible people trying to figure that out. All of these things, get out and vote, and all that. um, I hear everybody on those kind of things. So that's where I'm sitting here. Of course I feel terrible. I feel terrible uh, for Michigan State, and I feel terrible for the state of Michigan. Everything, obviously, for the families, and that's it. That's where I'm at with it. Matt. I'll take some of the feedback here. Matt is saying it's sad, and his heart goes out to the people at Michigan State. Antoine says you can't stop violence or evil. All you can do is try to prepare for it the best you can. I think that hits it. Jason, who is a veteran, mentioning mental health being an obvious problem. True statement. He says from Antoine. Yeah, yeah, I hear you on the mental health aspect of it. I think the people are curious. So you go back to people deal with tragedy and a situation specific like this, gun violence, in different ways. Two people can have different opinions and different solutions and be on the opposite side there, and they can still make good points about it. It's one of the things that has your head spinning. The worst part is that those lives that we know. I mean, you go back to that. That's the worst part, and then right behind that is that that this situation, in a day or two, Michigan is playing Michigan State in basketball on Saturday night. No, everybody will have a moment of silence. Michigan State will have a patch on their jersey. Michigan might. I might. And then we move on, and then there'll be a next one. That's the thing that is right behind the thing that happened yesterday. We pretty much know that it's going to be happening again. So that's one of the parts to it as well. That's all for me now. Coming up tonight, watch Michigan and Wisconsin. They're going to play basketball. It is a 9 o'clock start on ESPN2, so it's going to be a late one tonight for the Wolverines in Madison taking on the Badgers. On this feed right now that you're watching or listening to after the game, I will discuss the game. And I'll see you then after Michigan, Wisconsin tonight at 9 o'clock. Bye.